Our theme as a church for the family month is the family, God's first place of stewardship. As a church, we are looking at stewardship and want to know that when you talk about stewardship, the first place that stewardship begins is the family. So this August month, we are looking at the family, God's first place of stewardship. And for today, my topic is the origin of the family. The origin of the family. A lot of times, if you don't know how something started, and you go and meet it halfway through, you are likely to think that that is the order. A lot of us know of a family in a certain way based on what was presented to us. So for us to help understand this, I will need just some 4 volunteers up here. 4 volunteers. Please, quick, 4 volunteers. Okay. Can I get a woman in addition? All guys. Come up. Can I get a woman? I don't want it to be all guys. Good. All right, you stand here. You go to the end. I have a reason for doing that. Jesus Christ was asked a question about marriage, family. And in answering the question, Jesus Christ realized that if I answer this question, people are going to think that it is wrong. Because the people's understanding and knowledge about it is not correct. So in answering the question in Matthew chapter 19, verse 3, so it is like the people came to Jesus Christ in this era, and was asking him what he thinks about marriage. Then in answering the question, he said that, for me to let you understand the question well, let us go to the beginning. In the mind of Jesus Christ, he's thinking that the original thing has been corrupted. And I'm going to display it to you. So I'm going to tell this young man something in your ears. I don't want them to hear. Then you whisper into his ear. Then he will whisper into the lady's ears. Then it will get to senior. The last person is called senior. Then I'm going to ask senior what you heard. And let us see. Are you ready? All right. So how are you going to show what I whispered? All right. And in life, when you are learning things, it's not like you have a conducive environment. So I'm going to create an environment which is not conducive whilst they are learning. So that, because as you are learning things, the other things drawing your attention. So I am deliberately still talking whilst they are learning and transferring information from one generation to another generation. And let us see whether they will pass. I've tried this at several places, and the result is quite interesting. And I'm not going to tell you the results. I want you to find the results yourself. Are you done? Are you done? Senior, please come. If he doesn't get it right, nobody knows where it went wrong. So you people don't be scared at all. Okay, senior, what did you hear?
When God made a man, it was for God's pleasure that he made man.
Is that what I told you? What did you say you heard?
When God made man, it was for God's pleasure that he made man.
What I told him is that when God gave man family, it was for the good of man and for his pleasure. I didn't even say that the pleasure is for God. Now, if I come to senior and I'm saying that pleasure that is obtained from family is for man. He's going to say that no, it's for God. Because that's what he has been told. We don't know where it changed. It is possible that when I told you, you gave the information right. It is possible. It is possible that when you heard, you were not so interested in some of the things that you heard. So you took out certain things and placed in some things. And you also, being a female, you realize that if the pleasure is for men, I don't want the men to have the pleasure. So it should be pleasure for God. Then when they got here, everything that has already been said originally has been changed. If we want to look at the origin of family, forget about what you know now. We'll try and use the scripture to go to where the whole thing started. Because some of us, the idea we have of our family has to do with our traditional setting. All right, you can sit down. The family is not a human invention. No human being sat down and organized and manufactured family system. No human being did that. When it comes to school, it was made by human beings. When it comes to hospital, made by human beings. When it comes to government organizations, made by human beings. When it comes to most institutions, were made by human beings. When it comes to family, it's God himself who made that institution. And he designed it such that it becomes the basic units for societies. And the societies make the community, and the community makes a nation. No nation exists without communities. And no communities exist without societies. And no society exists without families. When the family is not functional, the society suffers. One of the things we've noticed in church is that most problems that church members have has to do with families. Two facts about family, which we'll read from Genesis 2:18 and Genesis 2:24. It started from somewhere and started in the Garden of Eden. And it started when God created Adam and Eve. And it started when God himself united them. So Genesis 2:18 says that God told man, it is not good for you to live in an isolation. I am going to give you a family. I've paraphrased what he said. He said, it's not good for man to be alone. I'm going to give you a companion. So it's just like God saying that it's not good for you to be living alone. I'm going to give you a family. Then Genesis 2:24, God gave the procedure how to begin a family. So the first family was Adam and Eve. Then told them how next families will be formed. And said next families will be formed by, for the purpose of family development or family invention, a man will leave father and mother, cleave to the wife, and they will become one flesh. So from these scriptures, we realize three things. Marriage, which forms families, is made by God. 2, he created a male and female to form the family. 3, then he laid the foundation. He laid the foundation. So nobody in this world laid the foundation for family development. It's God himself. So when we want to marry and want to say that this is how my family does it, this is how my hometown people do it, this is how my ethnic group is doing it, you are practicing something that has been corrupted over the years. That's what's not working. Some of you are using iPhones. They are giving you big problems. And sometimes even when you are using it, you are not getting the solution. So bring my young phone, bring my Android. Why? Because you are using something that you are not used to. You are used to young phone and Android. So the moment you're giving iPhone, unfortunately for us as Africans, we don't even read the manuals that come with the gadgets. We still want to use how we've been operating the Android and the YAM with the iPhone. That's why we think that the iPhone is giving. So that's why sometimes the iPhone is the same thing. Because we are using something that God created wrongly. We think that it is. not worth it. He established the foundation. 2, the family was God's first institution. It's the oldest institution. And any institution has a purpose. When I was preparing this, I just became interested in trying to find what an institution is. An institution is a stable and organized system. A typical one is KNUST. It's stable. It's stable. And it is an organized system. We have VC, provosts, colleges, faculties, departments, and courses. So if you want to do civil engineering, become a civil engineer, there are certain courses. If you want to become a pharmacist, there are certain courses. If you want to be a medical doctor, you don't go for engineering courses. It's a system that is organized. And it's organized to accomplish a particular purpose. If I went in, I want to be an engineer, the system has been organized so that I will become an engineer. And when I become an engineer, the system will now guide me how to operate as an engineer. And that's why that's what we call it as an institution. It is a place that has been designed, that we learn how to love, we learn how to make friends, relate, we learn how to give birth. When I was preparing, I said, we learn how to give birth. I was just asking myself, is it really true? It is true. Because you learn from your father how he handles the baby, and you also, when you're giving a baby, you handle. So if your father does not know how to handle babies, you are in big trouble. I met a pastor that the wife was struggling with their baby, and the baby was crying, and I called the man, why don't you help your wife take the baby? You know what the pastor told me? I said, the family is an institution where it helps us or nurture us. It's a family, is an institution where we receive knowledge of God to live. Why? Because the family will have to pass on to the new family all these things so that the new family will continue. Haven't you realized that a lot of businesses in Ghana die the moment the owner of the business dies? Because they don't transfer information. So a family that's not able to do that is called dysfunctional. Let me skip. So from this, God himself established the marriage. God himself defined how to enter it. KNUST, that's how to enter KNUST. If you want to enter KNUST, you should have sat for WAEC examination. And when you sit for the WAEC examination, you should have 6 passes. If you want to do engineering, it should be in these courses. If you want to do social science, it should be in these courses. And after 4 years, depending on the course, or 6 years, depending on the course, you are given a certificate to go and perform. This marriage institution also has a similar process. The person who qualifies to be a man and a woman. So 2 men cannot. The one who instituted it said it. The qualifications should be a man and a woman. Americans are telling us that 2 women can do it. 2 men can do it. I want to tell you that because it has been corrupted. It has been corrupted. The originator of it did never thought of it like that. It's for a man and a woman. Then when you have sat for a WAEC, the grade should be, and the grade in this case is that you should live, cleave, and become one. And God willing, next week maybe we'll look at that. You can never start a family if you are not ready to have living, cleaving, become one flesh. And God established it. Then he gave the certificate, and the certificate is that it's a permanent union. Some years ago, there was a lady at KNUST who was reading social science and got to 3rd year or final year, forgotten. I think 3rd year, then social science was 3 years. And around that time, they found out that the result that she used to enter the university from first year was somebody's results. And her actual results was not qualifying her for K University. But she was in third year, final year. And her CWA was good. CWA means that the average you are ending with. So we have first class, second upper. So it was around second upper. The university withdrew her, sacked her, because he entered in with the wrong certificate. What am I trying to say? The one who is giving the certificate says that it should be for man and woman, it should be living, cleaving, and it should be permanent. The one who said it. In fact, I've come across people that come for the office for counseling. If you listen to them as a human being, I wish that this one, the best thing is for them to separate. But the institution says that it's a permanent. K University, you can't go and fight K University. Why is it that my child has failure in English? You are not admitted. K University will tell you that you should have a pass in English. If somebody takes money and gives you admission, they'll find out. The purpose why God created marriage. One, he created the family for companionship, for friendship. So when God formed the family, he had in mind that I want to have people who relate like friends, companions. Because God knows that human beings can only flourish through relationships. There's no way any human being can flourish without relationship. I'll explain. If you take a puppy from the mother's environment and place the puppy in another environment where there are no dogs, all that you do, you feed the dog, water, good environment, the dog will grow up, the puppy will grow up to become a dog. Will drink water like a dog, nobody taught it. Will wee like a dog, nobody taught it. Will bark like a dog, nobody taught it. If you take a human being, a baby from the midst of human beings into an area where there are no human beings, he can never develop to become a whole human being. There's no way he can speak. If there's nobody speaking around us, in fact, there was a research that they did. A baby was born to two cripples. It became difficult for that baby to begin to walk because everything that he saw was crawling. God knows that you need the family to become a better person. To become a better person. Some of us, when you see us, you think, oh, this is a very great speaker. This is a very nice person. I was not like that. It came through relationship. Some mates will comment about the way you do your things. My wife will comment about the way you talk. My children will talk about the way you were doing those things. That is how human beings develop. So God gave you a family so that all the good things in you can come out. And God created the family for procreation and stewardship. The family is the only way the earth can continue to have human beings. Genesis 1:27-28. It says that God created the male and female, and he blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply, give birth. Malachi chapter 2, verse 15. Didn't the Lord make you one with your wife? Didn't God himself united the union? And he said that in body and in spirit. So not just physically, but even in spirit, you are one. Then I like the question that Malachi is asking. What does he want? What does God want? After putting us together, what does he want? Then he gives a response. Godly children from your union. So we are not just having families, just for having them, but to be able to procreate, and have children that will be godly so that the family union will continue. If you are here, you have a child anywhere, you have given birth to somebody somewhere, and you have not taken up responsibility as a father. Usually we don't have the mothers doing that, but in this generation we have them. Years ago it was not like that. Years ago, our bonny crowd, the woman was sitting, but now with our new generation, we think, hey, I'm going to Canada. You see, the reason why we are still, what is this? Can I get some small boy, somebody who's a bit small? Okay. So first, second, and third. Okay, so only small one. When God has given this family this child, God will never drop this child in a forest. He drops a child in a family. That's what the Bible says, that children born out of marriage are abomination to God. God's system is that family will have a child. And now when God drops this child in this family, the word of God says that everything about this child is written in the book. So when Jesus Christ came, he said that I have to fulfill what is written about me in the book. So Jeremiah said that let everything written about me in the book be accomplished. So this child that I see here, there are things written about him in the book that me as a parent, I don't know. But it's my responsibility because I'm supposed to be a steward. So for me to know what God has purposed him to do. So for all that you know, God has wired him to be a teacher for kindergarten class. Because of that, God has wired him, giving him all the abilities to become a kindergarten teacher. But this family, who is a kindergarten teacher? If I go for a function, they say, so your son, where does he work? Oh, he's a teacher. Where? Montessori kindergarten. We won. Hey, where does he work? Oh, he's a lecturer. He's not even a professor at KNUST. Oh, he's a medical doctor. Oh, congrats. But so far as God has wired him to be a kindergarten teacher, it is our responsibility to know that and guide him to be that. Because when everything is finished, God is going to ask me, I gave you 2 talents. I gave you 5 talents. I gave you 1 talent. What did you do? So it's a stewardship assignment. So natural for parenting is a divine calling. And you see, every family that is functional, as this boy is growing up, we would have seen certain things in him that should tell us this is how he has been gifted for. And it's the responsibility of us as a family to find, by prayer, to know and guide. Point number 3 is a place for spiritual development. I'll end with that. The last one would have been we reflect, but I'll try and pick it up somewhere. It's a place for spiritual formation. I like Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 6 to 7. God is telling Moses, these words that I'm giving you, that should make you help you to live. I am commanding you that you should put it in your heart. You should know it. Put it in your heart means that not just knowing it, but practicing it. Now verse 7. You shall teach your children diligently. Diligently simply means that you are doing it with seriousness. If you are teaching 1, 2, 3, repeat after me, 1, 2, 4. No. I said 1, 2, 3. They say 1, 3, 4. No. You don't say, I live it. You have to do it diligently. And I like the way he says that when you sit down. So it means that the family should be able to have an opportunity to sit down. So James, come. So as a family, we should be able to sit down. Because whilst we are sitting down, whether playing games or watching television, it's an opportunity for me to teach. Watching television together, something comes on the telly which is not right, because this generation has a lot of poison things there. But because I'm there with him, I use that as a teaching aid to teach. We don't do the Ghana system. when the movie sound and the light changes, you realize that there's going to kiss. Then tell the children, go and sleep, go and get me water, or you change the channel. We don't do that if you want to teach them. Because whether you change the channel or not, he's going to meet a friend who watched it in school, and that friend is going to tell him what happened when the light changed. We don't only teach them while sitting down, we teach them while walking. You have opportunity to be walking with my son, with my daughter. Oh, I'm going to the salon, let's go together. I'm going to barber my hair, let's go together. Let's go and watch that soccer. Whilst we are walking there, I am teaching. So I should create an environment that he would like to work with me. If I create an environment, if I create that environment, the day that I say that I'm going there, accompany me, he'll say, Daddy, I'm tired, go. He didn't say only when we are walking down with them, but he said that when we are lying down with them. It means that there's an opportunity for you to see your children sleeping. Some of us, we never see our children sleeping. By the time we come, they're already asleep. The whole of the 7 days of the week, there should be an opportunity for you to sit by their bedside while they are lying down. When we were growing up, the world was not so civilized. We had bedtime storybooks. We read it for them. Fortunately for our generation, now we have Christian bedtime storybooks while they are lying down. And as they are sleeping, you can lay your hands on them and bless them. In fact, even if you are the type that by the time you come home they are asleep, you can go into their bedrooms and bless them. And the fourth one is that whilst they are rising up. So you should be there and see them rising up. Good morning, how was your night? Daddy, how are you doing? Was there any dream? It's very, very important. Beloved, the home is therefore the first classroom. Not the teachers. Not the teachers. Let me just jump to the conclusion. As members of the family, we are not just occupying the home. We have a responsibility. Because every child that has been entrusted in our care, we should make sure that at the end of our life, we'll give back that child to God and say that you gave me 2, I've doubled it. You gave me 5, I've doubled it. We should never say you gave me 1, but the economic situation was so difficult, so I buried it. Whether you are a husband, whether you are a wife, whether you are a child, or whether you're a future husband or wife, God has called you to faithfully care for the relationship called family and every responsibility is in it that he has placed in our hands. So our prayer is that God, give us a Christian home. Can we be upstand as we sing our hymn, God give us a Christian home? Just do the first and the last verse. The first and the last verse. And sing this song prayerfully. You came from a family that they don't have any of these things. Talk to God. God, renew my mind.
bow down your head in a word of prayer for your family. A word of prayer for your family. Your father, your mother, your wife, your husband, your children. Pray for all members of the family, Christian home. I want to pray that as a church we are one family. No discrimination, no racism, no undermining. We are all of one family. Lord, give us Christian home. Amen.